Hi guys, it's Sterling Spectre here. Welcome back to the mining show. Today we have a couple articles to go over and just some news this on in the mining space. So the first thing we want to go over is the Ethereum network to take a scheduled upgrade called the Grey Glacier at block 15,050,000 on June 29th, so in 2 days. On June 29th, the Ethereum network will take a scheduled upgrade called Grey Glacier at block 15,050,000. So it says here that the scheduled upgrade is called Grey Glacier. The difficulty bomb will be prolonged by 700,000 blocks via the Grey Glacier upgrade. The delay of the difficulty bomb or the diffusion of the difficulty bomb. So basically we have 700,000 more blocks until it's diffused. So it says here 700,000 blocks via the Grey Glacier upgrade. The mining action of the miners on the current network, Ethereum 1.0, will be discouraged by the difficulty bomb after the successful transition to Ethereum 2.0. According to the core developer at Ethereum, Tim Belko, this delay is prolongment of the difficulty bomb will be the last. He added the bomb will be kept fraud off the network because it would require a decent technical knowledge. Miner or node operators which fail to participate in the upgrade will halt in an incomputable chain following in the old rules, and they'll be unable to send Ether to operate the post-Ethereum upgrade. Just says here, according to the 551st core developers meeting, the merge testing related term was discussed with a brief on how the 7th mainnet shadow fork went bad. 20% of the nodes dropped off at the merge while more nodes were off after. So if you didn't know, when this Ethereum difficulty bomb is diffused basically or prolonged, we have to have all the nodes in the network, well, a majority of the nodes in the network updated to include this Ethereum difficulty bomb. Otherwise they won't be able to send Ethereum to these nodes and process transactions. So it's not really a big feat of actually, the code, because it's just a small line of code to actually defuse the bomb. It's just getting the code to all these node operators and making sure that they update. So that's coming on the 29th of June, so in 2 days. And we'll see how that affects the network after 700,000 blocks. Next up here, we have the Neta rich list. This is just a post from Reddit on the Ergonauts Reddit. It says here, I was curious to see what effect, if any, the Neta subpool, which might have the Neta rich list on. I pulled the data from the Ergo Tokenauts repo for today and the 6/11th and compared the two. It just says here's his notebook, you can take a look at that. His takeaways: most of the Neta from the sub pool is going into the Ergo Dex liquidity pool. Not many miners have cracked the top 100. So if you didn't know, you can now mine Ergo with Neta and then convert it in the Ergo Dex liquidity pool. It's basically a way to get more profits out of your mining, and Neta and Ergo have teamed up to make this possible. So a lot of people have been switching their rigs onto Ergo just to make some more profits, while Ethereum is unprofitable. It's seeing maybe a 20%, I believe it was, 20% plus profitability when compared to Ethereum. So if you want to go make some more profitability, look into this Neta x Ergo mining. There are loads of videos out there. I know Son of a Tech made one, and I think Red Panda Mining said something about it. So if you want to go check them out, go onto YouTube and just type in Neta Ergo mining. The next thing that we have here is the Flux co-founder Daniel Keller, The Life After Ethereum. This is an interview from Chump Change XD Mining and Crypto. Basically talked with the co-founder of Flux, and he goes on to talk about the Flux mining after Ethereum. One of the main points I want to talk about is the actual network hash rate. This co-founder Daniel Keller says that they can accommodate the hash rate merge when the Ethereum merge comes in. So basically when Ethereum merge happens, there's going to be a lot of free hash rate and they've got to move to different coins. So when these coins receive these hash rates, we'll get to see how the network reacts. Because if there's too many miners, there might be just too much going on the network and it might crash the network. But this co-founder Daniel Keller says that the Flux network can accommodate this many miners and has room to even scale and grow on top of the amount that could potentially be added to the network. So Flux is one of the main ones that I'm mining right now, just because I see the future, the next 5 years, when that next bull run happens, Flux has already hit $5 per coin. We're sitting at around 50 cents per coin. So we know that it has the potential to go 10x already. But I think it also has the potential to go 10x after that. So maybe $50 a coin, or even $100 a coin. We just need to see how much dApps and stuff are built on top of Flux, and that will determine how useful it is in the crypto space and how much the coin will go up in price. So if you want to learn more about Flux and the Ethereum merge, go check out this interview that Chump Change XD did, and you can find out about how Flux is working as a network and what they're building and what they're going to do after the Ethereum merge. The next article that we have to go over is the Bitcoin energy consumption declines as miners grapple with falling revenue. So it says here, Bitcoin mining is no longer consuming as much energy as before, according to the Cambridge Bitcoin Electricity Consumption Index report, which shows a 25% decline in energy use since the start of the month. Per the index, the current energy consumption of Bitcoin is 10 gigawatts, significantly lower than the 14 gigawatts on June 6th. This means its annualized consumption is at 93 terawatts hour, putting it below countries like Argentina or Norway in energy consumption. At its peak, the Bitcoin network needed 16 gigawatts of power. The drop in the consumption from its recorded high of 150 terawatt hours in May is likely due to the drop in mining hash rate. Bitcoin's hash rate is the computing power needed to create a block on Bitcoin. That just talks about how Bitcoin's made and how it works. Miners are selling their Bitcoin holdings. We've gone over this, we've seen articles before the last week about how miners are selling off 100% of their holdings. I just wanted to talk about the fact that, Bitcoin is using less energy now. So we know that miners are taking ASICs off their mining farms, or they are reducing power for the ASICs to make them more efficient, but mine less coins. I think it's a 4 gigawatt difference from, June 6th to now. So that is around maybe 1/5 of the energy taken out. This means that, people are taking off ASICs in the farm, so only the most efficient ASICs are probably running right now. Or there's people that have renewable energy such as solar or wind, or they're using the runoff gas flare in Texas or in either Saudi Arabia or in Canada, just to make sure that their prices and profitability are adding up. So this will probably drop a few more gigawatts in the next coming months, just because, Bitcoin's not showing any signs of going back up in the next few months. But maybe in the next 2 years we'll see a massive hash rate migration because of this halving for Bitcoin. We've seen halving run-ups before. It happened in 2020, it happened in 2016 when the halving came in, and then 2017 was when the Bitcoin run happened. In 2020 the halving came in, and then there was a massive Bitcoin run-up into 2021. And then, when this next halving comes in 2024, we're going to see a massive run-up to 2024 halving. People are going to be mining Bitcoin like crazy, and then there's going to be an explosion again. That's just how the price of Bitcoin works, just because the scarcity of Bitcoin gets more scarce after the halving. So there's less blocks being produced, which is the supply and demand. The supply goes down, the demand goes up. And the last article we have here is, did I make it harder to sell your crappy used crypto mining graphics cards? This is an article from TechRadar, and it's produced by John Leofer. Opinion: the best time to stop mining crypto was 2009. The second best time is now. There are two things that are guaranteed to get you hate mail in this business: being a woman online with an opinion and criticizing crypto. The piece I wrote earlier this week dissuading users from buying a used graphics card right now seems to have hit a nerve with many in the crypto community, as it was utterly predictable. With crypto miners buying up all the best graphics cards to endlessly run their hashing algorithms, there's been ne'er a GPU for the many gamers out there. Even to the point that Nvidia was forced to implement new software and hardware tricks to try limit the hash rate of their graphics cards to make the supply available to gamers who were left out in the cold. Obviously he's talking about the LHR unlock or the LHR limiter. Even that effort was stipend by the crypto miners hellbent on easy money at the expense of the environment, So now that the crypto bubble has popped and everyone is scrambling to sell the graphics cards they spent thousands of dollars on in an attempt to break even, some did not take kindly to my suggestion that the best possible outcome for crypto miners get absolutely soaked. It says here, I meant what I said. TechRadar is a consumer product site and our focus here is to make sure that everything you buy is the best purchase for you. A used graphics card just isn't a good purchase right now. I said so, and I have no interest in making it easier for a lot of shady crypto miners to sell their worn out GPUs by holding my tongue on this. So this is basically, I'm not going to go over the rest of it, you can check out the whole article and link in the description, but this is basically a hit piece, I guess, on GPU miners. So he wrote this about a week ago. It was another article that was basically telling people if they want to buy GPUs they should buy them new. If they want to buy GPUs they shouldn't be buying them right now off crypto miners. Well, obviously I'm going to have a biased opinion in this case because I'm a crypto miner, but truly I've used my crypto mining GPUs to game on after 2 years. You know, I've got 20 series GPUs that have been mining for 2 years and they still run fine on games. So why is it that people are saying that they are worse off than buying a second-hand GPU that hasn't been mining? Theoretically these GPUs are made and, you know, have that in mind, that these GPUs are going to be running for the next 3 years, and they stress test them so that they can run for the next 3 years non-stop. Crypto mining doesn't really hurt your GPUs unless you're really pushing core clocks or pushing memory clocks or just overheating the GPU regularly. If you keep it at a steady temperature of, you know, 40 to 50 degrees as I do, there's nothing that's going to go wrong with your GPU. Yes, maybe it gets a bit of dust in it, but you can clean that out. There's nothing wrong with buying a second-hand GPU from miners. They're just as good as, you know, a used GPU that's been used for gaming for the last 2 years. This person's saying just because miners are using them to get them worn out, you shouldn't be buying them. But it turns out that actual worn out cards are very hard to come by on the second-hand market. Just because most people actually look after their cards because they know that the profitability of the cards will be more in the long term if they look after them. And they even come with, you know, stuff like boxes and cables and all that stuff that some second-hand people that don't mine might not have when they come to selling. If you want to get a gaming GPU, I'd recommend buying one off a miner because they look after their GPUs. Just make sure they, you know, their history behind it. So that's it for the video, guys. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll leave links to all articles in the description below.